Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight in Business by GTApreneurs. I'm your host, Tammy Defoe, founder, business coach, and public speaking instructor for GTApreneurs. I'm so happy to have with me today the guest speaker for GTApreneurs' next big afternoon open networking event, Allan Pollett. Welcome to the show, Allan. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, very, very welcome. I just wanted to tell everybody more about you. I'm so excited to have you as a speaker. I have learned so much from you as well, just so everybody knows. Before we get to him, I'll tell you all the great things he's helped me doing with. But first of all, let's have you introduce yourself and your company and what do you do?
So my name is Allan Pollett. I'm known as the SEO guru, and I've been working in the space of online marketing for about 23 years. So it's been a bit of a time. And I basically help companies. I've helped about 3,000 companies over the years get to the top of Google. And, I built billions of dollars online for businesses. So not too bad for a few years worth of work.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, actually. And so how did you get into doing SEO?
I got actually involved in SEO, not on purpose. When I first started my business, I'd worked overseas for a while, and I had all this money saved up, and it was like sort of the .com boom. And I was like one of those people that's like, oh, I got to build a website and make millions of dollars. And so I spent all my money just building the website, and then I had nothing left for marketing. So I was in a situation where I was either going to lose my money that I put into building that website, or I better get good at marketing really fast. So I learned everything I could about how to get to the top of Google, which at that time, it wasn't even Google, it was like other search engines. But at the time, there wasn't really anything called SEO. It was like one of the terms that I actually was one of the people involved with coining. It was like a whole new industry. So I kind of developed strategies. I looked at the patterns, what made one site rank better than another site. I was like, well, there must be a reason. It's not, there's no magic. So I just figured out what those algorithms were, and basically got my sites to the top of the ranking. And then people kept on asking me, hey, can you do that for me too? And so I was like, sure, why not? So
awesome.
That's how I got into it.
No, there's that famous expression, right? Necessity is the mother of invention.
It really was. It was.
Right?
Being poor and not being able to feed yourself is very, very strong incentive.
Exactly, right? But that's one incentive, right? But you also have some different abilities than other people have, right? Like not everybody could do what you've done, right? So what do you think makes you different than other SEO experts?
So I always talk about my 4-leaf clover example, and I drive people crazy with this one because it sounds so crazy. I have this ability to see patterns where like I'll see like a field of clovers, and I'll see the 4-leaf clovers in it, and I'll literally come home whenever I go for a walk with a pocket full of 4-leaf clovers. And the same applies to search engines, that there's like this 4-leaf clover effect where you say, oh, why is that site ranked at the top? And if you look at the website and you kind of can see all the keywords kind of popping out at you, you can sort of see those 4-leaf clovers that allow that site to rank. And that's what I do. I look for those 4-leaf clovers with the sites that I'm trying to get ranked. I try to implant them, actually, give that site a lot of luck so that it can rank at the top of the search engine. So that's kind of
awesome. Yeah, and like me, like the rest of the people here, like we can look at like a patch of clovers where we can spend like an hour where there's no way we're going to find a 4-leaf clover. So yeah. I think that's amazing you're doing that. So I think that's a good reason for people to come to see you for what you do, right?
And I'll show you how to do that in this seminar. So I'll give you all the magic behind the SEO.
That's what we want, right? And it's great. And having a website today is so important for business owners, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to have every different level of business owner coming to the event next Wednesday, from people right from startups, people who've been in business for 20 years, mm-hmm. right? And this is one of the things people how do we get ranked in Google? How do we get ranked in Google? Some people, they spend thousands and thousands of dollars in Google ads, right? Yeah. And, what's your feeling about Google ads?
I'm sort of mixed because I can get traffic cheaper. So it's very expensive to do Google Ads. There's better ways of advertising if you really want to spend money on it. But I prefer the organic, which is the free listings on Google. There is money you have to spend. It's not free still. There is an investment that you have to put in. You have to develop your website. But those things that you put into your website have longevity. With Google AdWords, you spend like $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, and you get traffic. You'll get traffic, but if you stop paying, that traffic disappears. With SEO, you invest that money, and you're building your site. You're making it stronger, and it will it'll gradually reduce your rankings over time, but you'll still get traffic during that time. So even though you stop that investment, you can still get benefit from it, and that's the difference for me.
I think the other good thing about you do is not just that you're telling people, okay, give me your site, I'll do SEO for you, and that's it, to keep people on the hook to keep paying, right? Like that's one thing you do, but you also offer your service where you can teach other people.
Yes.
Right? How to do it for themselves. So, I mean, some people, they don't want to be bothered, like, just do it for me and stuff like that. And that's great, because you know what? Allan's going to get you near the top of Google, right? And that's going to make a big difference for your business. So sometimes it just makes sense to do that. Some other people who want to DIY, right? Allan can also help you with that. I'm happy to say that my website ranks on page #1 of Google for many different keywords, including networking events Toronto. When I first started my business, I think I was number 38. So thank you, Allan. I really appreciate that. Obviously, I put lots of hard work into it and thousands of hours. So not everybody wants to put thousands of hours into their website, right? And do the designing and stuff like that. But I like that. But the fact that you can do all that for people is great.
Yeah.
Right.
I do see it though as like, I prefer if people use me than doing it.
I know. Obviously, I know that, right? I know that.
You can do heart surgery, but it's better to get a heart surgeon. So
no, I know. Yes, I understand. But you know what though? But at least when people come to the event, right, you're going to give them some tips. So at least they can say, right, if they already have an SEO person, okay, I'm paying out to my SEO person, and is it really worth it, right? Like, are they actually doing the best approach? Because that's the thing. Like, I know I've met other SEO people, and I asked them about their services, and they're like, well, you have to spend $1,000 a month in Google ads, and you have to pay me to do the Google ads, and then you have to pay for SEO. It's going to take you 6 or 7 months. I'm thinking, wow, right? So at least if you want Allan to do it, honestly, I recommend doing it, because you'll make a lot of money. But the thing is that at the least to start out with, you can see you'll be able to see, is the person you're going to right now, if you have one, are they giving you the best advice? Are those the actual best use of your dollars? So maybe you're spending $2,000 a month, but are you actually getting the results you want? And maybe could you get the results, better with $1,000 a month?
Yeah, I'm very honest with my clients. If it only costs like $200 to get where they need to go, well, then I tell them it's only $200. If it takes $10,000, I say, well, maybe if you don't have that kind of budget, there's other things you can do that maybe SEO isn't the way to go. I remember one client, it was the craziest thing, where they had a 1-page website and they wanted to rank for the word computer. And they had no content. It was like, hello, you got to be realistic. You got to be, there's ways of doing things, and you don't always have to go for that big keyword. There's ways of getting traffic and generating business that are realistic. And I try to teach my clients how to be realistic and how to get the most value out of their dollars.
Exactly. And that's good, because, unfortunately, there are some people out there that it's just all about making as much money as they can off the people, right? And for you want to get them the top results, but do it at the level that they need to spend, nothing extra, the top, right? So I think it's totally invaluable what you do. And I know a lot of people that would really benefit from your services. So, but you know what? You definitely want to come out next Wednesday to get a few free tips too, right? Never hurts to get a few extra free tips yourself.
I'll probably give too many free tips, but
okay.
Put myself out of business, but it's okay.
I know you're generous, but that's okay. Some people want to do a few things themselves or whatever, but I'm so excited to have you there. Like I said, Allan's a genius. I'm so thankful I met him. It's really made a difference for my website and I know that, he'd be able to help you as well. And, there's one thing I think you told me really stuck in my mind, that there was a dentist, I think you were working with before,
Mhm.
right? And then now he has what, 2-3 offices now?
Yeah, so there's a few where they were literally making $1 to $2 million a month from the work that I was doing for them.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a bit insane actually.
Wow. So you know what? The investment's worth it, I think.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and I mean, everyone's got different type of business and stuff like that. But I mean, I think that's impressive. And for me, you know, if I'm going to be paying for someone's services, I want to go with the best. So, you know, I'm happy to promote you. I promoted you to tons of people, right? I'm happy now to be spreading it to way more bigger audience than that. And then people, you need to come out, need to see Allan, get those free tips, right? And, you know, think of what he can do for you to help your business.
Sounds
Now,
good.
I don't know about you guys, but you know, I want to make a few $1 million,
Yeah.
right? Right. And, you know, I'm sure you get this question all the time, right? But how long do you think it could take for a new business to get like on the first page of Google? That's a really broad question, I know, but
so there's a way to look at it is this way. You have to sort of set different targets. And I'll give a really good example of this. One of my clients was in the limo business, and they built a new site. They had no traffic. They were a mom and pop organization. They had one limo. That was it. That was their whole fleet of limos. And day one, I said, okay, we can't get the word limo or Toronto limo or these big keywords, but we'll go for keywords that we can get. So I would target sort of what's called the long tail of, you know, like Toronto limo services or Toronto prom limo services, something that's a little bit more like very niche. And I could get that ranked pretty quick. Within a week, I would have them ranked at the top, not necessarily number one, but within the top 10, so that they were generating some traffic. Within a few months, I was getting them ranked for like Toronto limo. And then after about 5 months, 6 months, I had them ranked for the word limo. So if you typed in limo, they were number 3. They weren't number 1, sorry, but they were number 3. And they went from being like, they had about 20 limos by the time, you know, that I was, and they ended up doing the TIFF, you know, all the limo services for all the Hollywood stars that came to TIFF. So yeah, it was something that we built up to. So it wasn't day one, but it was something that what I do is I find targets that give them a little bit of something, a little taste, and then we build on that. We keep on building towards that bigger goal. So that's kind of the way I target things. I'm not sure if that answers your question the way you want it to be answered. But yeah.
It's perfect. Very impressive. Okay. I mean, I don't know any other SEO person who can do that for people. So that's fantastic. But look at, that's our time for today. So thank you so much for coming on, Allan. I just want to give people a little bit of a taste of what they can expect next Wednesday, but you definitely want to register for next Wednesday and meet the man himself. If you're staying for part 2, you'll actually get to meet him one-on-one. So lots of fantastic things to do. You have a fantastic day, Allan. Thanks so much for coming today. And I look forward to seeing your presentation next week.